Hello, everyone. I want to thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If you are new here, my name is Kimberly McIntyre. I am triple health and wellness certified, and my channel's mission is actually to help share information and workouts, recipes, helping you to achieve optimal health. And today, on topic, very much on topic. First of all, I need a drum roll. So I have with us Mallory Hamai, who has completed the 75 hard challenge. Can I say that again? Completed the 75 hard challenge. So if you go here, you can click the link to watch the original video where I am speaking with her and her boyfriend, Garrett, and talking about where they were at that moment. But now she has finished, and so I have her on here today. So Mallory is 22. She is a graduate from the University of Missouri, where she has a degree in health science. Mallory, thank you so much for being here with us. And I'm so excited to get into some of these questions that I have for you today. First of all, how did you feel when you got to the end of those 75 days and you could check all the boxes?
It felt amazing. It actually felt like it went by way faster than what I originally thought it was going to feel like.
Okay.
It felt really good to be done.
So it's really good to hear you say that it went by faster, when you looked back, which
Yeah.
that's what I say. And of course, we're dumbing it down big time, but that's what I say. Like if somebody chooses to do a 3-day juice fast,
Mhm.
and I'm like, if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, like what's 75 days, right? In a
Right.
whole year, in your whole life, right? And so you kind of realize that. What was most challenging as you went through those 75 days? What would you say was most challenging?
I would say the most challenging was doing an outdoor workout every day because I started in March where it was still snowing and raining and freezing cold, and I would get home from work late at night and still have to do an outdoor workout. So the weather was kind of difficult. And then when we got to May, it ended up being 95 degrees and I had to go work out. So I think the outdoor workout was a little difficult in like the extreme weather conditions. But on nice days, I had no problem getting outside. So it wasn't too terrible.
Well, yeah, I could see that. I mean, the first of all, the fact that there's two workouts a day at 45 minutes, regardless, to me, that's kind of tough. If anyone knows me, they know that my workouts are between 25 and 30 minutes.
Mhm.
So just that alone. But anyway, you did it. And so I'm just so proud of you. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Would you do it again?
Yes, I would. Absolutely. I even talked about doing it the same time again next year. I started on March 1st, so I kind of did all of March, all of April, and then some of May. I talked about doing it again the exact same time next year because I thought it was a good time of the year to do
Right?
it, get ready for summer and everything.
Would you do anything different? Would you pick a different diet? What?
I would pick a different diet just to kind of have some variation. I'm not sure what exactly I would pick, but I think if I did the exact same, it would kind of feel repetitive and boring, and I would just have to mix it up a little bit somewhere.
Okay. Speaking of that, because you picked calorie counting,
Mhm.
correct?
Yep.
Okay. And I feel like we did mention this in the last video, but just in case, regardless, I think it's worth repeating the fact that you could have had, because that's why a lot of people pick calorie counting, is because they can really have whatever they want,
Mhm.
but then you have to eat less food. But you weren't even willing to kind of tip that hat. You stuck to clean and, I mean, pretty healthy food in your
Yep.
calorie counting, right?
Right.
So you even made it harder on yourself and you didn't have to. But I mean, at me as a health coach, I'm saying yay, right? That's
Right.
what it should be anyway. So I thought that was really cool. So let's bring Garrett into this for just a moment because people are going to wonder what happened to him. What day did he tap out? And he didn't tap out, but we'll talk about that in a second. But what day was it that he stopped?
He made it to 22 days.
Okay. And tell us what happened.
We work in a restaurant. We were a little understaffed at the time, so he was on day 4 of working open to close. and he did not make it to an outdoor workout. He was closing down the restaurant around 11:30 p.m. and he said, "I'm not going to make it. I'm going to have to fail this time." But he
Okay.
said he would be willing to try again sometime. So maybe he'll try again with me next year.
Okay. So was this his fifth time doing it?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So usually they say the third time's the charm, but this time we would say sixth time a charm, which
Sixth
kind of goes
time.
insane because 3 + 3 is 6.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, hats off to him for, even trying it, honestly. I mean, to me, you get through 10 days. That's a lot to
Right.
say about that. What has changed because of the 75 hard?
I've definitely been trying to eat better just because I did it for 75 days, so I know I can do it. So I've been trying to be a little healthier and go with healthier options and everything. I did take a little break from that though. As soon as I was done, I had to have McDonald's. It was my first meal after I was finished.
And how did that feel?
Um, it tasted good, but it felt terrible.
You needed some
It-
digestive enzymes.
yes, I did.
Have you stopped any old habits because of this experience?
Um, I've definitely stopped sleeping in as much as I did before. I
Mm-hmm.
used to sleep, I could sleep till 1 p.m., but I've definitely been getting up earlier and trying to be more productive in my days and at
Awesome.
least try to do a little bit of physical activity every day, which wasn't necessarily in my daily regimen before. And I definitely have been keeping up with maybe not every single day, the gallon of water, but I've definitely been drinking a lot more water since I
Okay.
finished.
And so we're going to show your before and after pictures, which are amazing. And like to me, when I reach that goal and I feel great in my body, like I don't want to let go of that, right?
Right.
So I'm going to guess that some of that probably has played into this with that reminder of
Mhm.
I want to stay feeling good and looking good. So some people say, it's superficial when we're like, I want to look good, and which I disagree because looking good is an indicator of feeling good.
Mhm.
And when we feel good, we look good. And so it's
Right.
flip flop. So, and by the way, I did not mention, which I did in the first video, that this is a mental toughness program, not a weight loss program developed by Andy Frisella. What did you miss most during those 75 days? What did you miss the most?
I missed ice cream the most and sweet treats and everything like that. I have a really big sweet tooth, so it was very difficult to not indulge in candy or dessert or things like that. I did try to do Quest has like peanut butter cup proteins, little chocolate things. So those were the only things I really ate that were sweet the whole time, but I really did miss
Yeah.
sweets and dessert.
Did you notice if the craving got less the further you got into it or not really?
It
Yeah.
did definitely, yeah. The
Yeah.
first 30 days. Once I got past 30 days, it kind of just felt routine and like this was just the new normal and I didn't really have too many cravings. Definitely day 31, I remember thinking like, wow, this is kind of second nature at this point.
That is so good. You had that mind shift.
Yes.
That's one thing when people first come to me, and this is such a real thing, and I've felt it myself, but they get scared because like you're going to take everything away from me.
Right.
But what I teach is we're not taking it away from you. We're just giving it back to you in a new and better way. So there's nothing wrong with peanut butter. But if you go and you get Jif, the regular Jif that has high fructose corn syrup and using regular salt and there's oil in there, that is a negative response and that's going to have a negative response in your body. But if we go to Trader Joe's and we get their organic raw peanut butter, it's just peanuts and sea salt.
Mhm.
100% good for you, doing something good for your body. And the thing that is so amazing is when we eat food like that and it's whole, that's not whole. Whole would be going and picking it from my garden, but close, less processed, then it actually stops the craving in a shorter time. And so it's just really amazing how healthy food changes the mindset. We just have to trust it. We have to trust the process. So, and you get full faster, and you're nourishing your body, and you're getting something delicious. So anyway, just a little side note, tidbit of information. You had to take a progress pic daily. Is that correct? Okay.
Every day.
So did you look through your pictures to see at what day was it when you could actually tell a big difference? Did you check that out?
I did. It was around day 15 or 16 where I
Okay.
definitely could tell a difference. When I got up to between like the 40s and 50s, it all kind of looked a little bit the same. So I felt like I kind of stopped progressing, but I kept going. And then around 65 and through 75 was another big change, big difference.
Okay. So it's really encouraging to hear that 15, because if someone knows that if they do it, regularly, consistently,
Yeah.
just for 15 days, you can start to notice a difference in your body. And then you get encouraged to keep doing it. Okay. So reading a book every day, is that right?
Yep. 10 pages out of a nonfiction or like self-help book.
Okay. So over the 75 days, how many books did you read? I mean, I guess you could really only just read one if it had a lot of pages, because you only have.
I 2.5. I
Okay.
finished one that I had already started before 75 Hard. So I was about halfway through with that, finished the second half, and then I read 2 more.
Okay. And what books were those, if you don't mind sharing?
The first one was called The Art of Showing Up. It was about how to be there for yourself and then how to be there for your people. It was a really good book. The second one was called The Defining Decade. It was about your 20s and how to make the most of them. That was really good also. And then the third one was called Trick Mirror. It was more like an essay. It was this girl's life and essays about self-delusion is what she calls it. And it was also very good.
And then no drinking, which
No drink.
some people this might be hard. Some people, like for me, I don't really. Anyway,
Yeah.
so was that challenging? I mean, because you are young and you are in a lot of social situations. So,
I'm not really a big drinker. In 75 days, I would have normally maybe 5, 6, 7 drinks, maybe in 75 days. So it wasn't really hard. It's a little harder working at a bar and everyone sits down and has a beer after work. And normally that's something I would participate in every now and then, but it was definitely the easiest part of all of it was no
okay.
alcohol.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. I think that has come to the end of my questions, but it's so intriguing. It's so amazing. And I'm so glad that you did it and you finished and that we got to have victory on this side with this video. It's so cool. Is there anything that you would like to add or just encourage someone to do it?
Yeah, definitely at least try it. I mean, Garrett made it 22 days, but he said he felt great after and still felt accomplished. Even if he didn't make all 75, he still felt really good about it and everything. But yeah, I felt really great. And it really does go by much faster than you would think.
That's cool. So you guys remember that if you want to do it, it goes by much faster than you think. And what an accomplishment, just to be able to check those boxes. And I can see it as a good way to starting a new journey in your life, for sure. All right. Well, Mallory, I want to thank you so much for taking this time to share with us. And I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. And if you don't mind giving this a little love and subscribing if you haven't. And this channel is all things health. So we cover everything because it's all super important. So if there are certain topics that you would like to talk about, if you would drop it in the comments and let me know, and I'll be sure to add it to the list. We can always use more ideas, and we certainly want to bring you what you would like to hear. So you guys have a great day.